All right, let's do some elapsed time. Elapsed time is the amount of time that has passed from start to end. Today we're going to be solving problems involving time, and I'm going to show you two strategies to do it. As a reminder, if you need a clock to help solve these, there is a virtual clock in the virtual manipulatives link that I gave y'all. It's in Miss Hershey's materials on Google Classroom. So let's review the clock. We know that we've got the red hour hand. It's going to be the shorter, fatter one. I always think about hour is a shorter word than minute, and so it's the shorter hand. And we're going to look at these red numbers on the inside. And the minute hand, here it is blue. Remember that the minute hand is going to be longer, and also it's going to count by fives following the red numbers. So starting up at 12, this could be 0 or 60, and it's going to count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Lastly, we've got the second hand, which I drew onto this clock, but is very skinny, moves very quickly. So those are the parts of our clock. I find that fourth graders find the hour hand to be the trickiest part to solve. I would look here at the hour section. If it's not to the 11 yet, it's still part of the 10 o'clock hour. Same thing here. If it's not to the 2 yet, it's part of the 1 o'clock hour. And here, it's not to the 1 yet, it's still in between, so it's in the 12 o'clock hour. With our minutes, we want to be counting by fives and skip counting, or we can count each individual tick and count by 1. I want you to try and figure out what these clocks say and then check yourself. You should get 10:40, 1:17, and 12:28. Okay, when we're talking about elapsed time, that's how much time has passed. So how much time is there in between the start and the end? There are 3 parts of a time word problem, and you could be solving for any 3 of them: start time, end time, or elapsed time. A good strategy that I use is to write this for start, elapsed, and end, and then fill it in order to organize your information. So you might be solving to find the end time, solving to find the start time, or solving to find the elapsed time. We're going to start by using the strategy of a timeline or a number line. You can call it this either one. Let's start our first one. Nancy spent the morning picking apples at the orchard. She started at 6:30. She spent 4 hours and 55 minutes at the orchard. At what time did she finish picking apples? Okay, start time. I know she started at 6:30. That's what it tells me. Elapsed time. I apologize for my poor handwriting. It's very difficult to write with this. How much time has passed? Well, they said she spent 4 hours, 55 minutes at the orchard. 4 hours, 55 minutes. End time. At what time did she finish picking apples? That is what we are going to solve. Okay, I'm going to put my start on here, 6:30. Now, I am going to add 4 hours and 55 minutes. Now I'm going to break 4 hours and 55 minutes into sections or parts that are the easiest for me to add. I like to add 10 minutes, 1 hour, 15 minutes. I always try to get it up to the next hour, 30 minutes, whatever works best for you. There is not a right answer here. You can pick the different parts that you want to make, whatever comes to you. I'm going to start by adding 1 hour. And so it's going to be 7:30. And I'm always going to label the parts here, because if I don't, it might be confusing about, am I adding hours or minutes? And you can already see my jumps aren't the same sizes. So I need to label it so that I can tell. I'm going to add another 1 hour, and now it's going to be 8:30. Add another hour. 8:30 plus 1 hour would be 9:30. Okay, I'm keeping in my head that I'm adding 4 hours and 55 minutes. I'm not there yet. I've only added 3 hours, so I'm going to add another hour. 9:30 plus an hour is 10:30. Now I need to add 55 minutes. Well, I'm going to break that up. I'm going to break 55 into 30 plus 25, because that's how my brain did it. Maybe you break it up into 30 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5. And I'm going to add 30 minutes. Now, I picked 30 minutes for a specific reason. I did that because I know 30 plus 30 is 60. So if I add 30 minutes to 10:30, it'll get me up to the next hour. It'll get me to 11 o'clock. And that's a really nice number when I'm talking about time. So I've added 1, 2, 3, 4 hours and 30 minutes. I'm trying to add 4 hours and 55 minutes. So I'm going to add 25 more minutes. I'm always going to label my pieces. 11 plus 25 is going to be 11:25. So that's going to be our answer. Now, if I started at 6:30 and I ended at 11:25, I did not pass noon, so it's going to be AM still. That's an A. 11:25. Next one, we're solving for the start time. Brenda went shopping with her sister. They shopped for 3 hours and 15 minutes. They got home at 6:30. At what time did Brenda and her sister start shopping? Okay, now start, elapsed, end. I know they shopped for 3 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm going to write that when I'm organizing my information, 3 hours, 15 minutes. I know they got home, they ended at 6:30. I don't know the start. That is what I am solving for. So I'm going to put a question mark. Okay, what I'm going to do is put 6:30, my end time, at the end of my timeline, and I'm going to be counting backwards, taking away time until I've taken away 3 hours and 15 minutes. So let's start by taking away an hour at a time. If I take away 1 hour, my new time, 6:30 minus 1 hour, is going to be 5:30. Then I take away another hour. Now 5:30 minus an hour is going to be 4:30. Now I'm taking away another hour. I'm keeping my eye on that 3 hour, 15 minutes. I don't want to go over 3 hours taken away. 4:30 minus 1 hour is 3:30. Now I have to take 15 minutes away. That's a little confusing for me, so I'm going to start by taking away 10 minutes because that's easier in my head. 3:30 minus 10 minutes would be 3:20. Now, I'm just picking this. I could take 15 minutes away if I can do that in my head. I could take 1 minute. I could take 5 minutes. Whatever works for you. Now I've taken away 1, 2, 3 hours and 10 minutes. I need 3 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm going to take away 5 more minutes. And 3:20, taking away 5 minutes, is going to give me 3:15. And that is our start time. So Brenda and her sister started shopping at 3:15. Now AM or PM? They got home at 6:30 PM. I didn't go past noon, so it's going to stay at PM. Now I'm going to show you how to use the strategy of a T-chart. This is personally my favorite strategy for solving time problems, but after this mini lesson, you get to pick whichever one, a timeline or a T-chart, works best for you. You can scan this QR code if you would like extra examples of Tchart other than the ones that I'm going to show you right now. Janet is attending a local art festival. She arrives at 10:23 a.m. and stays for 3 hours 26 minutes. At what time did Janet leave the festival? I know the start time was 10:23. I'm writing that down. I'm organizing my information. Elapsed time, 3 hours and 26 minutes. organizing my information. And at what time did Janet leave? We don't know. So I'm going to put a question mark, and that is what we are solving for. To use a T-chart, you're going to write your start time up here. Then, so 10:23, now we're going to add time until we've added 3 hours and 26 minutes. You can add whatever you want. You could start with hours or minutes or 10 minutes or 3 hours or whatever. I'm going to start by adding 1 hour, and I'm always going to label hours and minutes. Okay, 10:23 plus 1 hour, it would be 11:23. Now I'm going to add another hour because I'm trying to add 3 hours and 26 minutes. 11:23 plus an hour would be 12:23. 1 more hour. 12:23 plus an hour would be 1:23. Okay, now I've got to add 26 minutes. I'm going to start by adding 10 minutes. 1:23 plus 10 minutes is going to be 1:33. Now I'm going to add another 10 minutes because I'm not done yet. I'm not at 3 hours and 26 minutes yet. Now I'm at 1:43. Okay, I've added 1, 2, 3 hours, right? And 20 minutes. I'm not done because I haven't added this 6 yet. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add 6 more minutes. Now I know 3 plus 6 is 9, so 43 plus 6 would be 49. Now we passed noon here, so that means we went from AM to PM, that's a P, and our end time is 1:49 p.m. Henry is volunteering at a local pet shop. His mom drops him off at 9:39 and picks him up at 1:05 p.m. How long did Henry spend at the shelter? I took a second to organize my information here. I see that the start time is 9:39. I don't know my elapsed time, and I know my end time is 1:05. So I'm looking for elapsed time. What I'm going to do here is write my start time, and I'm just going to be adding time to it until I get to 1:05, and then I know I can stop. Okay, now 9:39. You can pick whatever you want to add. I'm going to start with 1 minute. That makes the most sense to me. Now I'm at 9:40. Okay, now I'm going to add 20 minutes. And I'm at 10. Now I'm trying to get all the way to 1. I'm going to add 2 hours. Now, you don't have to add 2 hours. You could add 1 hour. You could add 30 minutes. I'm going to add 2 hours because I know 10 plus 2 would be 12 o'clock. Okay, now I'm going to add 1 hour. Make sure you're writing M or HR next to it so you can tell if you're adding minutes or hours. Now I'm at 1 o'clock. I'm trying to go to 1:05. That means I just need to add 5 more minutes. To find the answer of how much time has passed, we need to look over here and see what is everything we've added to it. So I can see 2 hours plus 1 hour. I'm going to start with the hours. That's 3 hours. Then I've got 5 minutes, 20 minutes, and 1 minute. Okay, so 20 plus 5 would be 25, plus 1 more would be 26, 3 hours and 26 minutes. Last is your exit ticket. Pause it here and solve, and then play to see the answer. Either way, you should have gotten 2 hours and 30 minutes for your answer.